What's up, everyone? It is Jesse on the Flick and Reel channel here, and we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat Invasion, some of the brand new single player content coming out for Mortal Kombat 1. Can't wait to get into it, but before we do, make sure that you pop over and hit the like button and subscribe so you can get more content like this, whether we're covering Mortal Kombat or movies, TV, reviews, things of that nature. And comment down below your favorite characters, your favorite mode that you've seen so far, what's got you really jacked about Mortal Kombat 1. Do you have it pre-ordered? And if so, drop that gamer tag. All right, I'll see you guys in the comments and then in a minute. All right, so for those of you that didn't watch the last video where we were covering chapter 1, the Kung Lao chapter, get caught up really quick. If it seems like I'm a little off right now, it's because it is about 4:30 in the morning right now. I was asleep. A lot of the stuff came out around midnight. My cat threw up on the carpet. That woke me up. I went to the bathroom, and then I checked my phone when I went to the bathroom. Saw there's a whole bunch of new Mortal Kombat stuff up, so I thought I'd slide on in here and put a couple reaction videos up. So without any further ado, let's talk about Invasions. Now, what I have pulled up here, Mortal Kombat doesn't have an official video dropped, but it looks like they flew out a bunch of content creators, specifically Mortal Kombat focused ones, and let them play the first chapter of the game and also the Invasions story mode here. So if you are familiar with Maximilian Dude, he is big in the fighting genre world, especially on YouTube and stuff. Make sure to go over and subscribe to him. Really cool. You get some great content in there. He does some awesome ranking videos and stuff. Always super entertaining. But we're going to watch his video right now on Invasions and get a little bit insight on what this is. It's supposed to be replacing kind of Conquest and the Crypt, and I've heard it plays a little bit like the Super Smash Brothers um, board game kind of structure. So we'll see what it looks like, and let's get into it here. Again, comment down below what you think of this video and what you think of the game mode.
Another impressions video from an early preview event that we got to check out, Mortal Kombat 1. Again, a big shout out to WB Games for making this possible. They allowed us access to the game.
So they got to play one other character and one other cameo. So they have Cyrex cameo on there, and then Kung Lao is a playable character.
The single player story mode that NRS games are very much well known for. And now we're talking about the
travel and early access provided by WB Games. Nice.
Which is called Invasions. So
oh, they got Rampage there.
Invasions is essentially a mode where you select your own individual character to go on this adventure. You have a cameo and your base roster member, and they are going to actively increase in stats and modifiers through this adventure as you go through and unlock stuff. Now, you'll notice right at the start that you're essentially going through Johnny Cage's mansion.
I can see you guys can hear it too.
But there are other locations that you will be going through, and other active locations and boss fights and all these things that you'll be encountering along the way. It pretty much plays out like a board game in first impression.
Okay, so this also kind of reminds me of anyone that played Soul Calibur 2, where you would basically keep playing all these fights that were supposed to be different characters, but they're really characters from the main roster.
So at least here we get sort of a preview of characters sort of play that we haven't actually seen.
And it wasn't really like a actual story mode. I don't know. Soul Calibur 2 did this a long time ago. You guys can check that out.
To go through doors, and in the process of doing this, you start unlocking stuff. So
we finally get to see Kung Lao's fatal blow. That was
thing I got
sick.
Out of Invasions mode is that this is sort of a very interactable and adventure mode version of the Crypt, where in previous games in the Crypt, you would get a currency of some kind for doing other activities in the game, and then take that currency to
there's the Serena cameo
and start to unlock things. And
it really is what Soul Calibur 2 did. They're pretending like these aren't, obviously you're just fighting Gearus, but you're going to fight Gearus 100 different times. They're going to give him a different name.
A bit different than that. It seems like they really wanted to turn the Crypt into an actual single player mode, because yes, you do start unlocking things.
I do like that.
You start unlocking other stuff
instead of just the Crypt, now they're implementing fighting and stuff. It makes it a little more rewarding than just having to do 100 arcade towers and then drop all your funds in the Crypt.
Some moments where I was unlocking customizable items for characters in Mortal
Kombat. Okay,
Kombat.
So there's definitely gonna have customizable items. That is confirmed.
The process of going through this game mode, I was like, oh, so we get to change, the mask of a character or something like that. We don't have the full list because we did not have the available options to us to show you like what exactly is customizable, but this is where it is. Like this is where a lot of those unlocking of items and
Oh, what
new
happens when he
talents and
like
all this stuff from
spits
the
acid on
previous script that you got
himself?
to
Does it
go
mean you
through,
get like
it's pretty much done
damaged
here.
by
But it isn't like
attacking him?
that straightforward. There's a lot more to it because you get different modifiers and things that'll
Whoa,
actually
what is
interrupt the
this
match. This is
ice
where,
portal
you know,
thing?
ice hail starts coming out of the sky or rockets will fly in from the side of the stage,
Okay,
where you
so
have
there's
to
like
sort of
stipulations and
morph
stuff like
around
some of
your
the
stats to counter
Towers of
those
Time
elements.
had
There's a moment where you get
in
like
Mortal
a
Kombat
fire
11. So it's
relic
a
from
mix of a lot of
someone and you
different
run
things.
into like an
Little
ice enemy
conquests,
like
little
Sub-Zero,
towers.
and you have to sort of counter their ice attack using
And I
your
know I'm talking
Kombat
over it a
ability.
little
So
bit, but
it
go
is,
visit
once again,
Maximilian's
significantly more interactable. And
channel
you'll
if you want to
also
see
see
this
that
without
every new
talking right
character
now.
does
Obviously,
have
this is a Flick and Real
somewhat
channel, so we're
different
talking about
stats
what we're
and
seeing
level
here.
up. So this isn't as expansive as a giant like world tour thing, but it definitely is something that is
I
a
believe World Tour might
unique
have been
piece
the
of
Street
bonus.
Fighter mode that
It is
came out
too
here
sort of feeling
recently.
like a story mode for the first time and having that be that. The nice part is that there's a lot of
Oh, I really
incentives
like
to it, right? There's a whole lot of
the
incentives to
color
play
palette. I think
and
that's
work with
Melina.
to
Yeah, but
unlock those
the blue and
fatalities.
orange is really cool look on
Generally,
her.
other fatalities, right? Those are usually there, and you just have to like execute the input. But if you don't know the input, you would sort of unlock it most likely in invasions mode, just similar to previous Mortal Kombat games. So that's fun, right? This is something that is going to take up a lot of time, it feels like, and a lot of like, you know, experience throughout the game. And it'll just be enjoyable to go through and unlock things for
Yeah, I agree
characters
with him. I think
who
this
don't
is
know
going to
too
be
much
kind of
about the
an
brand,
enjoyable
right? And like
experience and give you
how
something to do
unlock is this stuff
after
specific
story
to the
mode, you
main
know?
character? Even though I don't think it is, because I was unlocking stuff for like Sub-Zero and I was playing as Kung Lao throughout all of this. That's the other thing that I wanted to
Yeah, you
mention
kind of
about
unlock a lot
is
of
that
different
the,
stuff.
the different things that we're unlocking is stuff like colors and those customizable options. But I did get to play Kung Lao in this
So it
version,
looks like there's going to be some
and you'll
customization, but
hear
it's not going to be
more
as much gear and
Cyrax
grindy as
cameo
Mortal
voices
Kombat 11
in
was.
this version of the game. So we can't really give many impressions on the other characters in MK1 because we fought against them in CPU form and they were only so difficult. But with Kung Lao, I can definitely speak a bit more about him, and he's pretty interesting. He seems relatively like straightforward in
What
terms
is
of
this
like a human
ability thing
comparison.
that Kung Lao
He has a pretty good
has
dive kick similar to Sub-Zero's that recovers very
a
fast,
special meter? Is
and a
that
lot of his specials and like hat tosses and
down
things
there in
are
the
always
left
there.
corner?
The one thing
Is
that
that
was
part, is that
missing
character
in
specific or is that
MK1
part of
was his
Invasions?
teleport. It didn't seem to be anywhere in his move list, so I'm assuming it's not there. I'm assuming it's not an unlockable of any kind. But funny enough, we've already seen that the Kung Lao cameo does have a teleport of some kind, right? So I'm assuming that they sort of saved that for the Kung Lao classic Kung Lao cameo. And for this version of the character, he has decent combo extensions, like pretty good damage, and he's sort of quick. Not as fast as like, you know, MK11 or MKX Kung Lao, which were just blitzkriegingly
That's
fast in
true.
most situations.
Kung Lao is like
That one's sort
dangerously
of
fast, but
decent
you had
enough
to know
to
the
get a
inputs
good
because you
combo,
get
maybe a good
really
close
caught
range,
up.
get a pretty fast overhead. All that kind of stuff leads into easy cameos, and you know he seemed
It's
like a
cool to see
decent
more of the
character. I
Cyrax
didn't
cameo
feel too
though.
bad at all. The other one that was very interesting was the Cyrax assist,
Yeah.
and again we have another cameo character that has sort of a hidden move. We saw this with Frost in the beta,
Oh,
where
there's
he'll have
Serena
a
doing some
attack that
cool
actually
casting and stuff. We
modifies
still don't know
his
what that
forward
circle does,
cameo
that like
move.
curse.
Cyrax is kind of similar. His neutral cameo was this upward spin that doesn't hit any enemies on the ground and was kind of hard to combo into. It only hits aerial enemies, so you have to launch them into it to get them into the air. This is for characters, I guess, that don't have like meterless launchers. But funny enough, if you held down just neutral cameo button, the assist didn't go up anymore. It went horizontal. So you did
Oh,
like 5 hits horizontally, which seemed extremely good. Like
yeah, that
it
looks
was
super
probably
cool.
one of the better assists I think in the game, just because it covered a lot of horizontal space, allowed you to jump in
Oh,
and
I'd
out,
be
not
doing that
having to
all the
worry about
time. You
chasing the
bet.
block strings and all that stuff. So that seemed quite good.
I really like,
The
and I
other
saw
thing
this Johnny
was that
Cage. I
the
didn't really
mode was
comment
pretty
on it in some of the other
devastatingly
videos.
long, and I think
Some
the whole
characters
purpose of
have
plus
like a
cameo was
holding
to
charge
bomb,
single attack that
and
stuns
an
them.
explosion
Oh,
is sort of
secret
like a
fights. That's just
gas
like the
reaction,
old arcade
right? When
games.
everybody gets hit, it's sort of like that. Everybody
Like Johnny
feels like this
Cage, if you
explosive
press like
damage from it.
back and like
And it
triangle for
seems
the
like, yeah,
PS5, he like
that
holds his
really set
punch, and
the
if he
tone
lands
here.
it,
Again,
it's a
this
strong
one's
stun. And
called,
I just saw Katana do something like
I think
that.
it's called like an ambush assist, where you have to take a pose and then wait till the pose is done and then the bomb comes out. So it seemed to have this longer pose animation to figure out, oh, where do I actually stick this thing to make it work? I'm sure there'll be something really good for that because it's an explosive that pops you up and you get a combo after. And is unblockable, I believe. Outside of
This
that,
looks
it also
fun.
has the net, and unfortunately
It's
for me,
not
I
like,
don't think the net would act like a
I feel like it doesn't have
freeze,
as
like
much
freeze
depth, or it's not
visibility
its
like
own story
Sub-Zero
really.
would.
Like, oh, there's
Ultimately
Test Your
the game
Might,
is pretty slow
like
and it forces you
Conquest
to
is,
enter into a
but
pose
it
that
definitely
takes
looks more
a
fun than
long time
just
for
running
it to
around the
come
crypt
out.
for a long
So
time.
even comboing into to it from any of Kung Lao's strings seemed exceedingly difficult.
What's this?
That I was messing around with, at least in this version of the game. So I hope that changes. I hope like some of these poses don't just last too long, because as of right now, it was like you sort of throw it out in neutral and just hope it hits, and that's about it. However, his other assists,
okay, I'm going to a new area now.
Really good and did a lot of damage. So that's about it. Those were the only other playable characters that were in the game right now. And it was sort of disappointing to me. I really was hoping to get into the rest of the roster at least a little bit more. See how
it's all right. It comes out in, I think, less than a month, or about a month, September 19th or something like that. But it does feel like it's going to be a long month wait. I didn't want the beta to end. I was having a great time, especially with Johnny Cage.
Or a new cameo, I feel like the game gets more interesting. And that is very valuable to a game where we've only seen 1/4 of the cameos, or even 1/5 of the total roster yet, in terms of what they really can do. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. That's where the launch week of Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be very exciting, just figuring out what people come up with, because there's just going to be so many things that we haven't actually seen too much of yet, which is easily where, like I keep saying, the meat and bones of Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be. Either way, a big shout out to WB Games for once again allowing us to get access to the game at this event. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of this impressions.
Yeah, very cool.
Mode and the previous
I wish I was so lucky.
the single player story, I'm sure
one day, maybe.
Up for the game this week that we'll be able to talk about, and characters and stuff like that. I'll leave you with some more direct fights with some of the other casts that you might not have seen too much of yet as I was going through this mode. Oh, another thing to mention.
Yeah, another thing. What you got?
Possibly one of the best cameo fatalities in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's
go ahead and end the video with that
reminiscent of
hopefully you guys like this stuff.
like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or something. I feel like I've seen it before in a different medium.
As we just play through the game and see what it's like. My name is Max, and I'll see you.
I already saw it pop up on YouTube, but here we go. It's in the video with this. Just so many Cyrax bombs. Boom. There we go. Yeah, that's fun. All right, thank you again. Make sure to follow Maximilian. Type in Maximilian in Mortal Kombat. You'll find that channel. No problem. Tons of fun. I like that. Not a whole lot to say. It seems pretty straightforward. It's kind of walking the board. It is very reminiscent of Soul Calibur 2, Super Smash Brothers. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but in the world of Mortal Kombat, it is something that looks like it's going to be a little bit more engaging than the Crypt was. I did enjoy the Crypt in Mortal Kombat 11. But eventually you get tired of just running around with a hammer and knocking chests open and things like that. So looking forward to Invasions mode, but I want to know what you guys think of this new single player mode. Is it something that interests you? Or are you looking at kind of using this to get new gear augments and things like that to try on? We'll see how it goes. The game comes out in September. I believe it's September 19th. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Got it pre-ordered. Got to get that Shang Tsung pre-ordered. Do you have it pre-ordered? Let me know. Make sure if you haven't already, please like this video. I appreciate it immensely. If you want to see more game content on here, we're taking a little break from some of the movie coverage, which seems appropriate while we have the strikes going on and things like that. So we're here to talk about Mortal Kombat, and it's been a great time with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, keep it real. Bye-bye.